Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PPTV. Today let's huddle up beside the campfire for the IEM in question that we're going to review today. That's right, today we're going to check out Campfire Audio's brand new Holocene. Let's go! Taking inspiration from the current geological epoch, where the rapid rise in humanity is the source of inspiration for the sound signature of Holocene, the IEM. It is very quick, fast and detailed. Now the Holocene is a triple driver IEM on top of the 3 drivers that it comes with. The Holocene also has a 3D printed interior where the 3 drivers sit. What this interior allows Campfire Audio to do is to specially calibrate the interior to suit the triple drivers to really maximize its performance. And encasing all of that, it's the shell of the Holocene. Now this shell is actually made of machined aluminum with many facets around it as per its previous design, like say the Andromeda. It is very reminiscent of it, and Campfire calls the anodized aluminum finish on this amber. What is amber? Well, I don't really know. To me, it just looks dark brown, and it is dark brown. There is a very nice PVD nozzle on the chassis as well as the screws to set the faceplate in. It is also in PVD black. Honestly, the color combination is great and I really do enjoy it. And on top of that, there are some finishes on the Holocene that I really do like. They added a really nice touch, that is the glow-in-the-dark bits, and honestly, the 6-year-old in me really likes glow-in-the-dark stuff. So the Campfire logo on the Holocene, it is in this finish, and also on top of that, the IEM comes in a MMCX finish. Now, MMCX cables have become very commonplace in the world of IEMs. Yes, there is a 2-pin school and there's the MMCX school, both with its pros and cons, but Campfire Audio chose to go with MMCX, and I really do like that. Cables are easily interchangeable. And to add on to the glow-in-the-dark segment, on the Holocene, it comes with a silver-plated copper cable that has more glowy bits. And moving on to fit. Now, if you've seen what Campfire put out in the past years, like the Andromeda or the Jupiter, the Holocene actually looks really similar. It has the same usual Campfire shape where there are facets all over the IEMs. So in my ears, the Holocene actually fits very nicely. It is not obnoxiously big, and honestly, I think the size just, would suit most people very well. Inside of the case, Campfire Audio does give you quite a few pairs of ear tips. On it initially was its marshmallow tips, which are a type of foam tips. I find that they are actually quite good. It does not reduce too much treble. But for those of you who like a more neutral experience, I actually reviewed this earphone with the Final Type E ear tips on. This is because I find the Final ear tips to be very neutral and would just suit most situations. So moving on to the juiciest bit in terms of sound. Now the Holocenes, they are actually a very balanced sounding earphone, and honestly they will suit most genres, less those genres that really requires you to have like head throbbing bass. These are not the IEMs for you. What it specializes in, rather, it is speed, clarity and resolution. If you need an IEM to peel an onion, the Holocenes are the one to get, because these IEMs really showcase the layers extremely well. In terms of bass, as I mentioned earlier, the Holocene, to be honest with you, does not give you earth-shattering bass. It, however, takes a very different approach, whereby it focuses on clarity, control, and resolution, and this is where it plays to its strength. So bass is very quick, tight and articulate. When the frequencies approach mid-bass, there is an extra kick towards it. Naturalness is the name of the game when it comes to the Holocene. One thing I really like about Holocene is that it does not bleed into the other frequencies, and this really adds to its crystalline character. In fact, this actually sets up for the other frequency bands to be equally as clean, as the bass really provides a very transparent sound feel to not screw up the rest of the frequency range. Next, mid-range. Mid-range on the Holocene is something I absolutely adore. You see, there are different types of mid-range. The one that you get on the Holocene isn't the thick and overly warm type of mid-range. Rather, you get a very delicate and very controlled mid-range, and this really plays to its strength. One common recurring theme on the Holocene is how clear they are and how easy you can pick out layers on. The mid-range also adds to this experience. Mid-range, there is a nice smoothness in the Holocene's tonality, and this is extremely evident in the mid-highs, where if you listen to a lot of female vocals, this is where they get a bit some would say a bit piercing, but I never found that to be the case. I find how it renders to be absolutely very smooth and a bit rounded. Not to the sense whereby there is no detail, details are absolutely full on the Holocene, but it is handled in a very delicate manner where it just sounds so realistic. It is not overly warm, and the coloration just strikes a very fine balance. With regards to instruments on the mid-range, again, it does an excellent job of being very clean and crisp. One very important thing about mid-range I have to add is that Campfire is very smart. They've been doing this for a long time, but in terms of mid-range, they actually inject just a hair of warmth so that it actually carries emotional weight very well. You know, there are many earphones in this price category that overly focus on just pure details and layering and forget to add a bit of humanity into the sound. Campfire did not forget that and actually inject just enough for it to be absolutely stunning. In terms of treble, the Holocene renders it in a very smooth yet present manner. I never once felt that the Holocene was actually sibilant. When I listen to the cymbals crashing, there is a nice decay on it. It sounds rather natural, and it's important to say that it is still smooth, but again, likewise, as the rest of its character, it's actually very consistent. It is smooth with detail, but not overly smooth without character. You know, those are the type of IEMs that, to be honest with you, sound a bit boring, but the Holocene is definitely not one of them. The details really do shine through. The sizzle of cymbals are very prominent, but never harsh. And moving on to soundstage. For me, the Holocene soundstage, with regards to width and height, is actually really excellent for what it is. Mind you, these are close IEM, so it is not vented or open in any manner. It actually sounds very wide, and it's likened that to a concert hall. Likewise, height is also the same story. It actually sounds really tall as well. And moving on to depth and positioning, again, the Holocene provides a very holographic soundstage. In terms of that, there is a great contrast between the furthest instruments and the instruments closest to you. And in terms of positioning, likewise, it is really pinpoint. Based on its very crystalline, clear signature, you can tell where the instruments are from. Very evidently, if you listen to a lot of orchestral music and you want to pick up where the piccolos are, sometimes there's a bit of haze when it's being played. But on the Holocene, it is actually very clear. In fact, it just cuts to you like a knife, which I think is excellent. Finally, in conclusion, the Campfire Audio Holocene delivers an excellent experience. What I find absolutely amazing about the Holocene is how it does layering. Based on its qualities, as I mentioned, it's very crystalline, very clear, and the Holocene actually renders layers absolutely effortlessly. Campfire Audio is also very smart not to make this ultra sterile. It injects enough warmth in it to keep it very engaging to listen to. All in all, I really enjoyed the Campfire Audio Holocene. I just do not recommend it for anybody who is a bass head because they definitely do not provide enough bass for bass head. But for the rest of the people out there, I think it's absolutely fine. It gets high marks from me. And with that, thank you very much for watching PPTV. It's been a joy to share this review with you and hope to share with you more of such reviews in the near future. If you like the content so far, please press the like and subscribe button. And also, just for you guys to know, recently we had a new series called the Audio Archaeology. I think I'll put a link somewhere below or maybe on top. We'll see. We recently talked about the Esther and Kern DAPs, which Ash has covered, and I think that was quite insightful. It really, brings me back to the days where I was using such a DAP, or wish that I had the AK100. I'm probably giving out how old I am right now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching PPTV. I hope to see you guys next week. Bye guys.